Good day, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, dogs and cats, horses and cows, everywhere. I sure do appreciate you stopping by to hear my little old thoughts on the weather. So, let's just get right into it and talk about what we've had so far for the month of January. So, this month, obviously, a vast change from December. December was warmer than normal and obviously didn't have any real snowfall. I mean, a few, but nothing to write home about. Now, January, a very different story. We've had at least 20 consecutive days with snow on the ground. I think, if my numbers are right, we've had around 11 or 12 days that it actually was snowing. Um, and I guess it kind of depends on where you are, too. I know my friends a little farther to the east definitely had snow a few more times, especially in Knott, Letcher, Floyd, Pike. Just like today, they had snow flying through the air most of the day today. Kind of odd to see it there and nowhere else when we had blazing sun. But that's the mountains for you. So, anyway, we've had about 20 consecutive days here with snow on the ground. That's a lot, folks. We haven't seen that in a long time. In fact, the last time it happened was in the 1980s. Interestingly enough, I think it was around 86, I believe it was, if my memory serves me correctly. And I tried to look that up today. But the year or so before that was a couple of the hottest years that Kentucky had recorded in a very, very, very long time. So that makes a difference. This past summer was one really hot summer. Truly, it was. So for Lexington, since that's where I could find the numbers for, we've had about 16.4 inches of snow for the year. It's pretty close to that. I think maybe we might have had about that here, give or take an inch or so, depending on your location. Normal is around 14. It's about 14. Here in central Kentucky, we have had more snow than Anchorage, Alaska this year. Anchorage, Alaska's had about 3 inches of snow, well, almost 4 inches. Some other northern cities, like Minneapolis, St. Paul, those areas, they've had some cold, but they haven't had snow. So definitely we've caught the brunt of the snow this year. Even some cities on the Gulf Coast obviously have had their first ever blizzard warnings. First ever blizzard warnings. Wow. I mean, that's amazing. Doesn't mean that they have never had snow before, but first ever blizzard warnings. It's a very unusual sight to see snow on the ground in those southernmost cities. I've got some friends that are down in the Gulf area, and they're like, this shouldn't be happening, but it is. That's climate change for you. So let's talk about why this is going on. Here's my thoughts. We experienced a prolonged episode where we were caught under waves of the polar vortex. Some of you may remember a few years back they mentioned polar vortex, but this was a little different than it was way back when. So basically, those waves or lobes made their way through and across the U.S. So, like here, this little lobe, and then this lobe here, they would make their way, drew a face, they would make their way across the U.S. from west to east. And we've seen that pattern. We've seen the cold come in and make its way down and around like that. Oh, okay, back up. It's happened several times. we'd be cool one day, kind of warm up, maybe get close to freezing, and then cool right back down. That's those waves of the polar vortex coming down from the north. And normally, on a planet that is, quote, normal, we would have a polar vortex that's tight like this, and it holds most of the cold air up to the north. And the polar jet stream would stay farther to the north. But in a different world like we have now, in a warming world, we have this wavy, weaker jet stream. But why? Why is that? And again, I hate to say it, but here's the facts. It's climate change and a warming world. That's what's causing it. Now, I'm not going to go into the full details. It's just too much to go into on a video like this. But if you really are interested in why the polar vortex weakens, get out there and look it up. I mean, there are loads of videos on why it's happening by a whole lot smarter people than I am. So let's talk a little bit about the why. In that normal world, the cold stays bottled up. It's held up into that northern reach of the continent. It's over the ice pack, in other words, up around the Arctic Circle. But that's where the ice cap would be. Our northern ice cap is pretty much broken up and falling apart. So we don't have a good solid ice cap anymore. Therefore, the cold can't just stay there like it should. In a warming world, the ice is not in the right place at the right time. And we haven't been in the right place at the right time. In fact, this year, several European countries, France and Belgium and several others, several European countries, Siberia, and even the western U.S. have had early winter snows. Even November. Wait, didn't we have some snow in November? Yeah. So those snows cause the cold places, instead of it being the Arctic Circle, they cause the cold to push warmer air that should be over us to a higher point in the upper atmosphere, in what's called the stratosphere, basically. So they push warmer air up into the stratosphere. And quick, simple explanation, that's called catastrophic stratospheric warming, or sudden stratospheric warming, something like that. That causes the vortex of air, the circulating around the north polar ice cap that isn't there, that causes that to start wobbling like a top that's weak. Well, that's what it is. And that vortex becomes wavy. The jet stream comes to a little farther to the south in waves of cold air. Those waves pass over us, providing cold and snow. That's it, in a nutshell. That's what we've had over the past month. So, are we done with winter? Simple answer, I don't think so. Not a very simple answer. I don't believe we will have another prolonged cold snap like that. Yeah, I think we'll have some cold. I think we'll have some snow. I also think we'll have some rain. Maybe even a few storms here and there. But for right now, just enjoy the thaw that we've got. Okay? And that's what we've got, a nice thaw. So let's look at the actual weather. So for your Saturday, a nice, mostly sunny day, high around 42, low around 31. Nice day, nice day, nice day. Sunday, partly sunny, high 40, 23 for the low. Monday, a nicer day, sunny skies, around 42 for the high, 30 for the low. Nice 3 days there. Can't complain. Here's the extended forecast. Now, mind you, I have to tell you, once we get out past next Friday or so, this is where we start running into only one or two models that actually go out that far. So the data becomes a little more skeptical. But for Tuesday, notice I didn't even put anything on here on Monday or Tuesday and Wednesday. It's nice. It's nice. 46, mostly sunny sky from both days. Nice days. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, this is when we start to see some more clouds showing up. But our temperatures stay decent. I think Thursday's going to be a little bit cooler. There's some indication that there may be enough cloud cover to actually bump us down into around the middle to low 30s. But I'm being optimistic here and putting a 39. Friday, back warm again, 40s. Saturday, next Saturday, looks like a good southern flow of air, but it's going to bring rain. When it warms, it storms, so it's going to bring some rain. Around 50. And then Sunday, I think the front will be through and it'll drop our temperatures back down, but even the following Monday looks nice again. So there you have it. That's our weather that we've got to deal with. Quick explanation on why we've had what we've had. Okay, don't forget, you can hear my forecasts every day on Pickup Country 104.9 FM. You can see a forecast in the Powell County Patriot, plus catch an article that I have written and put in there. And always, folks, don't forget, please give my video a thumbs up on YouTube and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Always remember, Jesus loves you, and so do I. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your evening.